Welcome to the preview of Hands in the Sea 2nd edition, where you will build and fortify cities, launch ships, wage battles, roll dice, and pillage, all for the glory of your emperor or consul.
Actually, scratch that. 2 consoles, because apparently one just wasn't enough. Hey guys, it's Adam and today I bring you a first look at the Hands in the Sea prototype. This game is designed by Daniel Berger and the new edition is published by Phalanx Games. Right, a new edition because Hands in the Sea was first released back in 2017 and it was inspired by A Few Acres of Snow by Martin Wallace, which dates all the way back to 2011. Anyways, fast forward to 2024 and this revised new 2nd edition of Hands in the Sea returns with completely new graphics, recreating the epic First Punic War for everyone who missed out on the original. And if you are interested, you can find Hands in the Sea on Gamefound. The link, as usual, is in the description. And a big thank you to Phalanx Games for sponsoring today's video and sending this blue and yellow prototype my way. But before we dive into the game presentation and rules overview, please consider subscribing to Weekly Game Night and giving this video a thumbs up. It means a lot to me. Thank you very much. Alright, and now let's see what this Punic War game is all about. Welcome to Hands in the Sea, a 2-player deck-building wargame designed by Daniel Berger. This video showcases the new 2nd edition of the game published by Phalanx Games, featuring all new miniatures, revamped graphics, and streamlined unified rules for a better gameplay experience. The game takes players back to the First Punic War in the mid of the 3rd century BCE, when the Mediterranean stood as the grand stage for a fierce contest between 2 mighty powers, the expanding Roman Republic and the seafaring Carthaginian Empire. This conflict erupted over control of the prized island of Sicily, a key to dominance, and spilled into the surrounding regions of Corsica and Sardinia. For over 2 decades, relentless sieges, shifting alliances, and epic battles on land and sea defined this brutal struggle. When the dust finally settled, Rome emerged victorious, securing Sicily as its first overseas province and solidifying its path toward Mediterranean supremacy. In Hands in the Sea, players step into the roles of rival leaders, commanding Rome and Carthage. The objective is to outmaneuver your opponent by expanding your influence, developing key locations, and leveraging both naval and land combat to secure critical advantages. You will need to construct fleets, strengthen your armies, carefully maintain your supply lines, all while anticipating your opponent's next move. But to do so effectively, you will need to craft and refine your deck, selecting cards that align with your strategy and counter your opponent's moves. Every decision matters, and the stakes are high. With each move, tension builds as you strive for victory, knowing that a single action can shift the balance. Now, let's dive into the core mechanics and rules overview. Alright, now that you know what Hands in the Sea is all about, let's dive into how to play this board game version of the First Punic War. We'll break down the setup, player tableau, game flow, and winning conditions so we are all set to command Rome or Carthage on the board. Let's start with the game setup. What you see is the main game board set up alongside player tableaus for both the Roman and Carthaginian players, the market of strategy cards, event cards, mercenary cards, neutral locations, and a supply of coins. Now let's focus on the game board itself. The board is divided into 4 key regions: Italy, Africa, Sicily, and Corsica and Sardinia. Additionally, there are 4 sea zones corresponding to these regions. These zones are crucial for fleet movement and naval combat. The board also features several tracks. Separate combat tracks for each player, Roman and Carthaginian, which are used to monitor the strength during combat battles. A pillage track that tracks the effects of successful pillage actions. A round track that indicates the progression of the game through its maximum of 12 rounds. Locations on the board are marked as either neutral white or enemy controlled, with Rome's locations marked in red and Carthage's locations in blue. Locations can have either a single circle or a double circle, indicating whether they can hold town or cities respectively. Each location provides a card that goes straight to your deck. There are also two special locations, Roma and Carthago, which serve as the capitals and supply points for each player. Other two supply points are Lilybaeum and Syracuse. Oh, and let's not forget the fleet. Each player has a home port where their fleet starts and can return to. Fleets are used to control seasons, enabling naval combat and cutting off the supply. But before we move forward, I need to explain the concept of supply, as it plays a crucial role in Hands in the Sea. You see, controlled locations must be in supply for their action cards to be active, generate income and provide victory points during the campaign sequence. A location is considered in supply if it's connected to a player's capital, Syracuse or Lilybaeum if captured by a continuous chain of controlled locations and seasons. So yes, you can cut off other players' supply by taking a location or controlling a season, which will lead to some cards in their deck being basically dead, hence to less effective turns for that player. Your player board is your command center. It holds your draw deck comprising of location and empire cards that you will be able to add to your draw deck, strategy card space, and tracks for prestige and warships. Town and city tokens are used to mark your locations on the map. Hands in the Sea is played over a maximum of 12 rounds, with each round consisting of alternating player turns. During a turn, each player performs two main actions, often requiring the play of action cards from their hand, and once you complete your two actions, you draw back up to your hand limit of 5 cards, and it's another player's turn. A round ends when the Carthaginian player draws the campaign card. It's always the last card in their deck. When this happens, both players go through a number of steps. An event card is drawn and resolved. Players collect income, 1 silver for each in-supply city they control, so in that case it would be 5 for Rome and 3 for Carthage. Players score victory points for controlled in-supply neutral and enemy locations. 1 victory point for location with single circle, white or opposing color, and 2 victory points for double circled. It's worth mentioning that all of the in-game points come from controlling the locations. Finally, the rightmost strategy card on the board is discarded, and new cards are shifted and drawn to fill empty spaces. To begin new round, the campaign card is placed at the bottom of the Carthaginian player's draw deck, and the round marker is advanced. But how do you win this game? Well, I got to tell you, it's been a while since I last seen so many victory conditions. Your victory can come through automatic victory conditions, or you can trigger the endgame scoring by achieving specific objectives. The game can end with automatic win when one of the players conquers another player's capital, or if one player is 25 points ahead or have taken the control of Sicily completely. On the other hand, triggering endgame happens after 12 rounds, or if one player places all of their town or city tokens on the board. But here is the full list of all of the endgame conditions. If you want, pause here for a second and take a look. Okay, and now let's go over some of the key actions you can take. To settle a location, play a connected location card and any necessary transport cards to place a town token in an uncontrolled location. In this case, I play the Catania card connected to Camarina to build a town there. I pay the transportation cost of 1 card with ship symbol, but if the connection was through the regular or rough roads, it would take 1 or 2 horse symbols. Settling allows you to expand your reach and get a location to your draw deck, while developing a location upgrades a town to city by playing a matching location card and an additional card with a head symbol. Cities generate more benefits, including additional silver during the campaign sequence and extra victory points at the end of the game. Economic actions are crucial for sustaining your operations. You can take money directly by playing a location card with a silver symbol, or use a trader card combined with location cards to earn more silver. The merchant card lets you trade multiple cards with trade symbols for silver, maximizing your income during key moments. To attack an enemy location, play a location card that connects to the targeted location, pay the transportation cost, and play a unit card with combat strength. Combat involves positioning your battle strength token on your combat track, starting at a default defense value and adjusting for played cards. Battles continue over rounds with reinforcements and adding a leader actions available to shift the balance. Winning a battle will lead to taking control of key locations, removing empire cards from the enemy deck, and earning prestige points. Fleets can move between seasons or from the home port into an adjacent season by using cards with ship symbols. When fleets engage, each side rolls a number of dice corresponding to their warships, with successful rolls on 5 and 6 determining the number of enemy ships sunk. Winning naval combat provides strategic advantages such as controlling sea routes and scoring prestige points. Strengthening your deck is essential for long-term strategy. You can purchase empire cards to add powerful units or abilities to your deck. Discarding cards helps you manage your hand, while placing cards in reserve allows you to save your strategic options for later turns. And these are the main actions you will focus on in the game, but that's not all. There are plenty of other actions to consider, such as building warships, cavalry raids, pillage, bribery, each of them offering choices that can shift the balance of power in your favor. Overall, in the game you will find almost 24 of actions. Luckily, some double-sided reference sheets are available describing all of them. And so, turn by turn, player will execute their actions, expanding their influence and battling for supremacy. At the end of the game, if there was no automatic winner, it's time for final scoring. Tally up points for controlled locations, accumulated prestige, and captured enemy town and city tokens. The player with the highest score is the winner. In the case of a tie, Carthage is declared the winner. Okay, this is it from me, and if I got you interested in Hands in the Sea, check it out on Gamefound. It's a quite advanced wargame for 2 players that is offering plenty of space for choosing your own strategy. Thanks for watching, and bye bye!